actor. Listen to him, he knows what he's talking about. And he did. It's just that now and again I had to make certain things my soil. And I was right to.
I'd worked with Derek before on a series called Man of Straw with Martin Lismore, the same producer. And at that time, he had just left the National Theatre and was looking for, his agent was looking for something else, and phoned Martin Lismore, and we were actually in some distress about casting that part because the actor that we originally thought for was really not, we didn't think was good enough. And we cast him immediately, and he was brilliant.
I remember the phone ringing this particular time. I was about to play, we're talking 1976 now, and I was about to play Hamlet for the first time. And my agent rang up and said, they're thinking of you for Claudius. And I thought Claudius and Hamlet. And I said, well, I don't want to play Claudius. I thought I was going to play Hamlet. No, they said, you silly fool, it's Claudius and I, Claudius.
I mean, we were considering a lot of other actors as well, obviously, in the nature of things. Also, we had to satisfy other people, like London Films, etc.
I was way down the list before they got to me. Lots of other actors had been thought of. As I said, Charlton Heston, Ronnie Barker was another one, to play the older Claudius. And I think I came into the frame when, at the point, they decided to have one actor playing the young and the old. I was then taken out to supper by the producer, the director, to meet the representative of London Films. And I had to charm him and persuade him that this non-entity he was having dinner with could actually play the role of Claudius. That was the best part of my performance in playing Claudius, that supper party. Anyway, next day they said, okay, we're gonna take a chance and we'll go with Derek.
Derek and I work very, very well together because I like to think that I'm able to get out of Derek what most other directors can't get out of him. And he responded wonderfully to the way that I like to work.
Well, Claudius was the arch survivor.
He looked an idiot and was actually more brilliant and more intelligent than all the other characters put together.
A man who faces life with a great deal of disability, to start with, placed in a family and a world which increased those disabilities. It was a highly dangerous world in which he existed.
Do you think it's safe that Uncle Claudius should be told my secret? Or are you going to poison him?
Oh, he's quite safe. And remember this, monster. Your Uncle Claudius here is a phenomenon. He's so old-fashioned that because he's sworn to protect his brother's children, he will never harm you.
He managed to escape all the ramifications and manipulations of Livia, and would flatter her when necessary, would duck and dive when he had to deal with Caligula. All those very, very dangerous things. A real politician.
Is it true you've written a book about the religious changes during the reign of Augustus?
Yes, Mother.
And that you intend to give a public reading of it?
Yes, Mother.
You'll do no such thing?
Oh, Mother. It wasn't my idea. Americus suggested it before he left.
I won't have you making a laughing stock of my family.
I'm better when I'm rehearsed.
He's a trained monkey, but he still looks and sounds every inch a monkey.
Come.
He is clever enough to use his disabilities rather than they use him. And through that use, manages to survive.
Derek is, to me, one of these magical actors. Again, I owe him an immense debt of gratitude for this performance.
Claudius, do you bear me any ill will?
Ill will? Why should I?
Oh, it's funny the way we can be so wrong about people. I was wrong about you. You see, we judge too much on appearances. And, well, I mean, your appearance is against you. I mean, you know that, don't you? I mean, you give everybody the impression that you're a bit of a fool. No point in mincing matters. But you're not such a fool, are you?
I hope not.
There is a difference between a stutter and a stammer. which I at that time wasn't aware of, that a stutter is actually what it sounds like. Stutter is an onomatopoeic word. It's like a machine gun which stutters. And it is a repeat of the, if you say please, you please. But a stammer, an implosive stammer like Claudius had, is a much more difficult thing in that you cannot get a word out. You don't repeat, but you can't. And sometimes the mouth will form, and you look as if you're going to say butter, and you're really trying to say mother. So it's very difficult to help a stammerer because you don't know really what they're trying to get out.
Livy called you Claudius. I'm alias Claudius Amanicus.
Oh, that Claudius. They told me you were a half-wit.
Well, my am is ashamed of me because I stammer.
The art director on I, Claudius, Tim Harvey, had an assistant who had such a stammer, and I used to pin him against the wall and get him to talk to me, and then I'd copy it. The limp for the first few episodes, I suppose, was a stone, the old stone in the shoe, so I could remember which foot I was limping with. But I got rid of that after a while. Just as the BBC, when I got the first scripts, the stammer or stutter was written in. So if the word please was written in the script, it was written with 6 P's. And after a time, they saved on typewriter ribbon and let me get on with it myself. The twitch was something that I didn't need help with. The stammer did stay with me a little bit. Yes, it did. It did, because the whole series took 6 months. It was 13 episodes, 2 weeks an episode, 26 weeks. Stammering all the time. Yes, it did stay around for a little while afterwards. It did, yes. I have since then played 2 other stammering parts on stage, and word got around, I think, that apparently to an old lady once in the interval said it was so lovely to see that there was another part that could accommodate my disability.
The scene that I adored doing was the scene where I discovered that my daughter has been sleeping around with lots of senators.
He lined up all his various lords and assistants, and I followed him along with the camera. And he says, "Did you sleep with my daughter?" And I said, yes, they had to admit it. And he went all the way along till in the end, he never asked anything, they just nodded.
Have you slept with my daughter?
Caesar, I...
Answer the question.
Yes, Caesar.
It's a terrifying scene because there you do see the power of Caesar. That all these senators, some of them his best friends, have slept with his daughter, had orgies and all kinds of things. I mean, she slept with hundreds. That's what it implies. She's been sleeping with hundreds of men.
Not slept, Caesar.
Not slept? You mean it happened standing up, perhaps, or in the street, or on a bench? Not slept?
Now, there were about 10 or 11 actors amongst them that we rehearsed. And then on the day we did it, they introduced about 7 or 8 extras. And they'd not seen the scene. And we did this first take. And I have a sneaky feeling that's not the tape you see. That's not the take you see. I have a sneaky feeling that is the best take. Because I went amongst them, and as I was saying, "Have you slept? Have you?" "No." "Oh, standing up, sitting down." "Oh, very good." "No, so. And they started to giggle as I went down the line. They all, different ones, started to giggle. And they knew they shouldn't giggle, that they would bollocks it up if they giggled. They'd get told off by the director. But they couldn't, they were finding it so funny. I did it again in the second take, which of course is wonderful. It's a wonderful take, and it's beautifully filmed, using the tram lines and the cameras pulling back, wardrobe, makeup, everybody in unison. And it's wonderful scene image. And I suddenly end it by saying, "Is that